What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be doing Yunli calculation. I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time. I'm going to just throw everything in just one video. We're going to go over how to build her. We're going to go over her light cones, and then we're going to throw in a few teammates in there, as well as discussing her kit. So if you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video. Leave a comment in the comment section below and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's get to it. But before we begin, I really won my E2 Firefly, but the game has decided to completely screw me over this time, and I have lost every 50-50. Come on, please. There's no way, bro. Luckily, I have a trick up my sleeves that's going to allow me to get more stellar jades at a discounted price. Click the link in the description. It's going to take you to lootbar.gg. In here, you're going to select the game that you're going to purchase currency from. We have Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, they have Wuthering Waves, and Zone Zero is actually coming into the shop as well. And once you click your game, you're going to select the amount of currency you want to purchase, enter your UID and your server, make sure this information is 100% correct, and you're going to click top up now, submit your payment information, and within minutes, you're going to get your stellar jades right in your game. It's really that simple, fast, and easy. Now I can just go up here and then continue summoning for Firefly. And there we go. As simple as that. Really quick, really easy. Check out lootbar.gg, link in the description below. Starting out with our baseline, this is the build we're going to go with. The new follow-up attack set with the Inner Salsoto. The Inner Salsoto is just a no-brainer. Her follow-up attacks, or her counters count as follow-up attacks, and they also count as ultimate damage. So Inner Salsoto, just a no-brainer, gives her crit rate, gives her damage bonus. The Fall of a Neon is actually a really strong light cone. It's actually second best in slot light cone for her. Gives her a 64% attack right here, a 24% damage bonus, and a little bit of attack over here in the flat attack category. And then the new follow-up attack set gives her a 12% attack, 6% crit rate, and it also buffs the follow-up attack damage after you do your ultimate, which is how Yunli operates. She's going to fire off her ultimate, enable her counter slash and her counter call, and then everything that happens in between her ultimate and her next turn is going to be enemies getting slapped by hundreds of thousands of damage. She has a 679 base attack, which is pretty high. The light cone 529. She gets 28% attack and traces. We are running a crit rate chest, speed boots, and then the element orb, so that's why we have 0 here. Now, a lot of you are going to ask why speed boots instead of attack boots, since she's going to be pretty much a Clara replacement. The thing is that she wants to fire off her ult, so she needs more energy and she needs more turns because of it. She has 2 charges for her ultimate, so she can ult twice, so she never wastes any energy gained if you're consistently firing off your ultimate. Also, she has the ability to heal using her skill, so getting her turn actually helps her stay alive. I chose the elemental orb because she gets a lot of attack in her kit anyway, and you don't really want to over-invest in one single stat, so that's why I changed it to the elemental orb. She doesn't need an energy recharge roll because whenever she gets hit, she gets 15 energy. And then with her taunt mechanic from her ultimate, she is going to be getting hit quite often, so she's going to be regenerating a lot of energy. 352 for the hands, 14% in sub, very conservative. I'm pretty sure most people are going to have more than this. 12% for the relic set. This relic set gives you 12%. 30% buffs. She also buffs her counter damage by 30% attack. And then the light cone, as I said previously, 64%. I went a little bit conservative with her crit rate. We have 1 crit rate roll per relic that can have it, so that gives you 71%. She also gets 6.5% in her traces. She gets 6 from the new set and then 8 from Salsoto. Yeah, she's getting crit rate from a lot of places, so you can get to 70% crit rate pretty easily. She also buffs her counters crit damage by 100% when she launches off her ultimate, and then the other 100% crit damage we have here is the initial 50% that we have, and then an extra 50 from substat rolls. As far as damage boost, we have 38.9% from the elemental damage orb, and then 24% from Fall of a Neon, and then nothing in the resistance, broken, and the vulnerability and defense, because she doesn't have any of that in her kit. Now, the damage we have here is only taking into consideration the counter slash and the counter call, because they work hand in hand. The first time you hit an enemy with a counter is going to induce him with the counter slash, and then the second time that they hit that enemy is going to be the counter call. The difference between the counter call and the counter slash is that the counter call does the same exact thing that the counter slash does, but it has 6 extra hit, and each hit is 80% multiplier. So it ends up being a total of 480% multiplier, plus the 240% multiplier from this. So it's a total of 720% multiplier if you hit the one enemy. So if it's one enemy, you're going to be hitting it for about 720%. Decent damage. Her kit is very clear cut, very straightforward, nothing too intricate about it. She's going to fire off her ultimate, and then she's going to counter everybody, and every second time that she counters the same enemy, she's going to hit with the counter call, which is extra hits, which pretty much doubles her multiplier. Okay, let's take a look at her light cones now. Her base damage, which we just saw, Fall of a Neon, 110k, considering the counter call and counter slash. This is the 0% increase because this is the baseline. Her 4-star options are actually not that great. She doesn't have that many that actually work with her very well. The best one is Under the Blue Sky, gives your attack and crit rate, but at S5 is worse, about 8% worse than Fall of an Eon. Even if you have an S1 Fall of an Eon, I recommend just running Fall of an Eon. You're eventually going to be able to get it to S5 pretty easily. So I wouldn't even consider Under the Blue Sky unless you're just completely brand new to the game. This is all you have, okay? If this is all you have, then yeah, use this one. But if you don't, then use Fall of an Eon for sure. Another Lycone that would be really good on Yunli is going to be Clara's Lycone. This one is a little bit worse than Fall of an Eon, as you can probably see, is about 8% worse. The reason for this is that Fall of an Eon's attack gain is so high, it's 64% attack when it's max stacked. They both give the same amount of damage bonus. Where Clara's Lycone exceeds is in the healing. So Clara's Lycone gets you a little bit of healing so you don't die. So if you're running a team without a sustain, this is probably the Lycone you want to go with because it's going to allow you to not die. Even if that would be the case, I would still run Fall of an Eon because Yunli actually heals herself as well. So this is extra healing on top. So I don't think she actually needs it. So Clara's Lycone is good if you have it. If you don't have anything else and your Fall of an Eon is being used by somebody else, you have Clara's Lycone. You can throw it in there. Like, it's not bad. It's only 8%. So yeah. Moving on to Blaze Lycone. Blaze Lycone gives you a little bit of HP for extra survivability. Also gives you 24% damage bonus and some crit rate. The crit rate is where most of this damage is coming from. It's from the crit rate gain, not from the 24% damage bonus increase. Which is why on paper, Clara's Lycone would have probably looked like it does more for you, but Blaze Lycone actually is very, very strong because of that 18% crit rate that you get. All right, last but not least is Yunli's Lycone. It's a 17.2% damage increase when you have it max stacked. The thing is that you're going to have to fire off your ultimate every other turn to maintain the 72% damage bonus. And also the other damage increase that this Lycone gets is crit damage. So that other damage amplifier is locked behind either critting or not critting. I would have much rather had a damage bonus increase and then also another damage bonus increase whenever you release your ultimate. It would have been a little bit better, or some type of defense reduction, some vulnerability, some sort of something that buffs your damage other than crit rate. I mean, other than crit damage, because she already gave herself 100% crit damage in her kit. So why are we giving her another 36% crit damage? 17.2% damage increase is not bad, but it's locked behind the idea that you have to ult every other turn to maintain the 72% damage bonus. Now, from our base, we're going to add a few teammates. Her best in slot teammate, in my opinion, is going to be Robin. Robin is going to give you, if you have a Robin built, anywhere from 3,500 attack to 4,000. She's going to increase your attack by about 800. So this is going to make this 1152. I'm just going to add it right there. Your attack is going to go up to about 4,669. She also gives you a 50% damage increase over here with her skill. And the last thing she's going to be doing is increasing your crit damage by 45% because her counters count as follow-up attack and ultimate damage. So it's going to be 145% here. So just like that, our damage just went up by a lot. On top of that, Robin's going to give you another turn. So yeah, Yunli and Robin are very, very strong together. You know, Yunli gets a bunch of benefits from running alongside Robin. Another character that's going to benefit a lot from being in the team, and actually Yunli benefits a lot from, is going to be Topaz and Numbi. She off rip gives you a 50% vulnerability debuff on follow-up attacks, which is going to increase your damage by a lot, almost 100,000 damage, which is kind of crazy. This is only for a single target though, but it doesn't matter. It's still like, if you only hit this for a single target, you're still going to be hitting for about 170,000 damage single target, which it could not, like, I'm not saying this is Firefly, Acheron, Birbida Lunae, or like any of those type of damage, but it's damage that is going to be consistent and is going to help you clear. Aside from that, Topaz and Numbi is going to help the team deals more single target damage. They supplement each other. Follow-up attack units usually don't do like nuclear types of amounts of damage, but they chip damage in a way that you're able to clear pretty consistently and pretty fast as well. Now, the fourth slot is pretty much open here. Like, this is all she really, like, I would say quote unquote needs, but the fourth slot is pretty open. I like Fu Xuan in this slot, but Huohua is probably her best in slot. Huohua is going to give you 40% more attack, so let's add 40% here, and then also going to give you energy. And like I said, Yunli wants to fire off as many ultimates as she can, so she can maintain her counters coming towards the enemy. So 40% attack gets her damage to about 300,000 whenever we consider counter slash and counter coal, which is pretty strong. Now, if we revert this back to 30% and we throw in Fu Xuan gives you 12% crit rate, which is put this at 83.1. It's also going to make her survive a lot better. She already has damage reduction on her. Fu Xuan's going to increase that damage reduction to about 48%, which is an insane amount of number. And then after that, she's going to take 65% of that damage and get it on Fu Xuan. So it's actually really good, really synergistic. She also benefits a lot from critting. So Fu Xuan and her are really, really strong together, especially if you have Fu Xuan at E1 because you get an extra 30% crit damage. I believe this is, like, her and Fu Xuan are pretty much good to go. Like if you have those two, you're going to clear anything because they're never going to die. She's healing, Fu Xuan is healing. It's like a cycle of never ending like life. They're never ever going to die. If you give her a Lycone like Clara's Lycone for a little bit of extra healing, you can just run a sustainless team and then run Ting Yun on it. The new March 7th also is actually a very, very strong partner for Yunli as well. They work very, very well together. But that's going to be in another video. Butter core essentially is going to be Robin and Topaz and Numby. And if you don't have Topaz and Numby, it's not the end of the world. You can just run anybody else that just goes well with follow-up attacks. Like if you take away, let's say we take away Topaz and Numby, right? We're going to take away 50% vulnerability, right? But let's go ahead and add Ting Yun. Let's say we add Ting Yun. That's 100% right here. And then we can add more attacks. She has about 500 attacks. So 1562. So like the damage, you know, the damage drops off a little bit, but it's not a huge drop off. You know, you still get a little bit more damage. She also, Ting Yun is going to help her with her ult. So there's a bunch of different ways you can play Yunli. She's a very comfortable character to have. Like if you get her off, if you're just starting the game and you get Yunli, you are going to have an easier time clearing the game and not dying. Because characters like these, characters like Clara, when the game first released, Clara was really, really strong because she would allow you to clear the game without dying with minimal sustains. Like pretty much any sustain can make her survive forever, and she can pretty much solo everything because she just doesn't die. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you gonna pull for Yunli? What has you excited about this character? Leave it in the comments, and until next time, guys. See ya.